What's up, YouTube?
Chuki.
Melody loops. I'm about to show you guys all of the secret sauce for making fire melody loops inside of FL Studio today. Before we get to the video, please leave a like, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join our great producer community we're building here. And follow my Instagram at Chuki because somebody else saw my name. If you have any questions like this, stick around till the end of the video because I might have already answered your question in the Q&A section. Okay, so we're in my FL Studio, and to make fire melody loops, the first thing I always do is obviously start with one kind of sound and one melody. So I'm just going to select some basic Rhodes. I'm going to use FL keys for you guys today to just show you guys how easy it is to make loops with stock plugins. So FL keys, just select the basic Rhodes right here. Okay, so I'm not a professional keyboard or piano player, so I'm about to just click the notes so you guys can really just follow along even if you have no knowledge of any instruments or whatever. So just find a basic melody to start off with. It doesn't matter if it sounds too simple or boring or whatever, we're going to change that later on in this video. Just lower this velocity a little bit. The easiest thing with melody loops is just start off with like 2 main chords and build off of that. Don't try to put 8 different chords into one progression. Just keep it simple, keep it light. Just do something easy like this. Okay, so now we got our basic chord progression. It's not even a full chord progression, it's just like 2 notes layered on top of each other twice. And now we're just gonna add some little extra bass notes in this to just give the general feeling of this loop. Drag up the tempo a little bit. So now let's copy this. So Command B to copy it. We've got our full 8-bar loop, which is necessary for a melody loop. Like don't make 4-bar melody loops. So let's just link this to a mixer channel track and add some effects on it. I'm just going to try and mostly use stock plugins, but for this one I want to use RC20 Retro Color. It's like a plugin that makes everything sound retro and color it. That's basically what it does. Let's add some reverb. Okay, so now we got the bass, like not the bass, but like the foundation, the base of the melody loop. And now what makes this melody loop will be the next sound that I add. That's how I prefer to work. So just give it like a basic chord progression and then add the specifics of this melody loop. So maybe let's add an instance of Omnisphere and let's type in whale and let's use some whale sounds. Alright, so as you can see, the basic chord progression just goes A, B, A, B, but then because I'm layering the second melody over it, I'm just going A, B, but half the speed of the other A, B. So I'm just making sure that it doesn't just loop the whole time. So just, we got this, and then it goes to B here, and then we go back to A, but it goes, it creates, you know, it creates depth inside of the melody. Link this to mixer channel track, so just make sure you always link everything to separate mixer channel tracks so you have control over the individual items in your mix. Maybe we can also add some, let's add some stock reverb on this to just drown it a little bit, just release the dry a little bit and turn up the wet so we have less of the dry signal, more of the reverb signal. Let's use a cathedral reverb with a low cut. I think that's fire. On these rows, I think I might add a little bit of extra bounce. So let's add an instance of gross beat, and let's just use the volume function here to create like a little bit of a rhythm. But then, you know, this is too much. So I'm gonna drag down the volume. Just by doing these little things, you create a dynamic, flowing rhythm inside of your melody loop, which is also really important. Like if there's a certain rhythmic element in your loop, not too present, but just a little bit, it will be easier for a producer that wants to use the loop, or for yourself to already get a feeling of like, okay, this is how the loop's flowing right now. So that's why I do the gross beat. Let's add a third layer. Maybe let's add some bells. A good tip for you guys is use the Vst plugin on your FL Studio. It's really one of the best. Like, I didn't know FL Studio had a plugin like that, so just use it, or use Citrus or whatever. I'm gonna just use Citrus right now because I don't have the latest version of FL Studio here. And let's just use one of the presets. Let's go for bells. Yeah, this is exactly what I was looking for. The purpose of this sound is not really to create like a main melody that you need to follow, but like more of like a background atmosphere type thing. So we're just going to use something that's straightforward, that just keeps going, and then we'll drown that in some reverb and put it in the background so it really stays there and just is some extra energy that you add in busier parts of that melody loop. So let's just select everything, Command B, and copy that, and now let's link that to a mixer channel, like this. Now that I'm hearing it, a gross beat might be fire on this one, but this time with the time. So let's select single curve, drag this down. Let's reduce the mix a little bit so we get a blend between the growth beat sound and the original sound. And now I want to add a second instance of growth beat because I'm feeling like a cool rhythmic thing going on right now. So we do this. I'll take this down, select single curve and drag this up like this so we can create like a little stop. The energy is there. And now the only thing I might still add is maybe like one shot sound or something like that, like that just creates like some momentum in the beginning when it hits. Let's use this piano. You see, and this way you can create like this is a melody. You can't have this on the whole time. It's just like an extra, and it needs delay. Let's add a fruity delay. Let's make it ping pong and let's pan it a little bit. Yeah, fire. Now I think we got a pretty good bass. So now we got this melody, and now to properly export your loop, because we got the loop right now, we might add some processing on the master, but to already structure this loop so it's good to send to people, split this by channel and structure the loop as you would structure a beat a little bit. So I'll just select everything, Command B, and have this little setup. So let's start with the basic chords. Let's start with the whale sounds as well, and maybe let's make this unique and turn this down an octave. No, doesn't sound fire. Let's take it back up. Maybe I'll just start like this and then go to this after. Yeah. That's basically how I would do this melody loop. What you can do right now is select all of these elements by holding Control, Alt and Shift and then pressing the last free mixer channel. Then you can right click this, track routing, route selected tracks to this track only, which will route all of these previously selected tracks to this track before it goes to the master channel. So here we got our melody output. Let's rename this to melody. So after you've routed this, these tracks to the melody main bus, you can add some extra processing over that main master bus before you export your melody loop. This is fire. Let me just add a little bit of percussion to this melody to show you guys how this would sound with an actual beat. But first, let's answer some of your questions. How do I start selling beats? Simple, bro. Make a beat, put it on BeatStars or any other beat selling platform and start selling beats. What's your favorite Vst plugin? Whoa, that's a hard question. Right now, it's probably Virtual Mixing Rack by Slate Digital. It's the best mixing plugin ever, bro. How to get the Travis Scott autotune effect? I guess it's 50% the vocal performance and it's also 50% just the processing. It's just putting your autotune on almost the max level and just putting a whole bunch of reverb and delay. But just make sure that when you vocal perform, you really go for it. You can't hold back when you're doing the Travis Scott type voice, bro. Where do I find new sounds to download? Bro, the internet is literally full of sounds and samples and everything. You just gotta start looking for it. Just Google drum kits or melody loops or samples and you'll find plenty of sources to find good melody loops. How to get rid of drums in samples. I guess you're talking about if you're sampling an actual old track and you want to get rid of the drums. Sometimes you can just EQ out the drums, so EQ out a lot of the bass and then EQ out certain points in the hi-hats or the snare, wherever. But sometimes it's just really hard to get out the drums of a certain sample, so sometimes you just have to, you know, work with whatever you got. What's the best budget beat making equipment? Please, thank you, Chuki. Bro, you don't even need, like, I started out making beats without a speaker. Like, I just used my laptop speakers, so you can just start out and then after that you'll just roll into it, bro. But don't think you need everything all at once. What's your mindset while making beats? I don't know, bro. I guess it's just, I just love making beats. So my mindset is not too much thinking, just doing. I guess that's the most important thing. Alright, so I quickly added some drums, some percussion over the sample. It sounds fire. Let me know what you think. Before we leave the video, follow me on Instagram at Chuki with a Z, cause somebody else on my name. Subscribe to the channel for more of these tutorials. In the next video, I'll teach you guys all of the secret sauce about drill beats. Let's get it.